Hey guys, it's me, Seren, back with another video. So today is Hidden Figures Day, and today's hidden figure is Dolly Jones, born November 27th, 1902 in Chicago, Illinois, and died August 1975 in the Bronx, New York City. She was also known as Dolly Armenra and Dolly Hutchinson, and she was the first female jazz trumpeter to be recorded. In Chicago in the early 1930s, she performed in Irene Eadey's band and with Lillian Armstrong's Harlem Harlicans. Jones also played in a trio with saxophonist George James and in Eddie Durham's All-Star Girl Orchestra. She made only one record, Creole Blues, and there is also video from an appearance she made in the 1938 Oscar Micheaux film, Swing, playing I May Be Wrong. And make sure you guys check the description box for links and more information, of course. Dolly Jones's mother, Dyer Jones, was also a noted jazz trumpeter whom Dolly watched in order to self-teach herself to play trumpet. Dyer Jones began playing pre-Louis Armstrong and taught many influential jazz musicians, including Valaida Snow. Dolly's father played saxophone, and with her mother and father, Dolly was part of the Jones family band, which worked with Josephine Baker in 1919. In the early 1920s, Dolly Jones formed a trio in Kansas City called the Three Classy Misses, and she then toured as a trombonist in the bands of Ma Rainey in the Grand Theater in Chicago. She toured with Ida Cox in 1928 and with Lil Hardin Armstrong's Harlem Harlicans in the early 1930s. The band performed in the Lafayette Theater and Apollo Theater in New York City and Chicago's Regal Theater. In 1932, she formed her own band, the 12 Spirits of Rhythm, and in New York City, she was part of a 15-member multiracial band called the Disciples of Swing, where she was the only woman player. The band was billed as 7 whites, 7 colored, and Dolly. Jones was the first trumpet player to record a jazz record when she was involved in 2 recording sessions, in 1926 on Albert Wynn's Gut Bucket 5 and in 1941 in the Stuff Smith Sextet. She played Miss Watkins, a little girl from Birmingham, who was a trumpeter in Oscar Micheaux's 1936 musical film Swing. She was credited as Dolly Armenra. She has no speaking role in the film, but she makes several cameo performances as a trumpeter, playing the songs I May Be Wrong, But I Think You're Wonderful, and China Boy. She also appeared as an extra in Micheaux's 1938 movie God's Stepchildren. She continued to play into her 70s with Eddie Barefield before dying in New York City at the age of 72. And I want to read you guys a blurb from an article that I found online where a woman wrote about how she wanted to be a trumpeter and she was told that she couldn't be a trumpeter because there were no women trumpeters, and how she ended up sort of dropping music and then came across Dolly Jones years later. And so I just want to read you guys an excerpt from an article that she wrote about it, which was just really, really moving. And again, of course, I'll have a link in the description box, So she said, "And I heard for the first time about Dyer Jones, a woman who was playing horn before Louis Armstrong ever knew what a trumpet was. Her daughter, also a trumpet player, ignored the constant jeers, a girl trumpet player, and took the stage by storm. I had to pull the car over. Tears filled my eyes as I traced the rim of the steering wheel over and over again. I listened to the reporter tell of Dolly sitting in on jam sessions and holding her own, how one night Roy Eldridge walked by a Chicago club and was pulled into the place by a powerful trumpet. It was Dolly, and he and Dolly jammed together until the wee hours of the morning. I'd never heard of any of these women, and I'd never heard about women in jazz. I'm not crying sour grapes here that I could have been somebody. It's not so important whether I would have gone on to be a trumpet player as what it meant not to know it was possible. Knowing you can do something because someone else, someone you identify with, already has. Other women wanted to play from the heart and not just from the head. Other women had melted the brass and made their trumpets bend, glide, and sing. That day, I learned about the power of names. They mark the trail. That day, I learned that once, long before I was born, there were girl trumpet players. Their names were Dyer and Dolly Jones." Dolly Jones, hidden figure. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Hopefully you had a great Wednesday and a great week. We're getting ready to close out May, so hopefully you guys are already prepared for June. We're almost halfway through the year already. Can't believe it. May went by way quicker than April as far as I'm concerned. So again, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Food for thought as always. See you guys next time. Peace.